What's up, guys? Vince right here. I don't know if you can hear me cuddle up in this cold house because apparently it's warm outside, but it's cold in here. And also, I'm freaking in my bed as usual, but in the covers of actually trying to develop warmth. Yeah, pretty much. It's just be chilly, and I just like to get cozy. So, what about it? But other than that, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's do things, aka not do much. A little update. Yeah, I had recorded Let's Reads that disappeared. Thanks, Apple. Thanks a lot for deleting some of my Let's Reads without my permission. I don't know what's happening. I had some. And if anything, I wasn't even planning to. I was like, pretty much I'm just going to be lazy with all these uploads and stuff like that. That's usually what I'm going to do because I've been focusing 100% of my time on my work because I do want to make a good amount of money. I want to get a PS5. I want to actually go to Europe and I want to do a bunch of things out there. But yeah, it just seems like it's not really, my time in terms of reads. I'm not developing much. And I feel like I'm just in a sad place via YouTube where I kind of not making content because I don't really feel like it. My mom told me something about this. I think, as we were discussing stuff, because even my mom talks about, my friend Stefan, about like his success. And there's times where I question, like, what the heck is Stefan doing? Absolutely nothing, but I wouldn't know. But yeah, we just had a discussion. I think like it's something about like us being famous because as we compare it to each other, we both want to be famous. And that's a dream from a younger age. But nowadays, it's kind of like, I don't give a damn. I just want to make that money because money just makes the world spin. And that's where I'm at in life, spiritually. But you know what? It's just something that I keep thinking about this channel a lot, that I don't think being famous is ever going to be possible here on YouTube, especially for me. The thing is that I really can't think in terms of what I really want to do unless I show my face. But it's like I don't really know how to actually make better terms of content or really decide on that. Decide on the data. I want to ask you guys, and you guys never answer. It's like, like, hey, well, what do you want? Like, why did you sub to this channel? What is it that really gets you going, that you want to see from me? I asked you guys, and I get nothing. I just, yeah, I just get nothing, except for the usual webtoons. But I genuinely ask, what is it that you want to see? Do you want to be more blushed? Do you want to be more emotional? Do you want to be more in love? Like, what reads do you want to see? What videos do you want to see? Do you want to hear my voice? Or less or more? Like, give me the data. Like, I genuinely ask you guys because I have no idea what you want. I make the same content. Do you want that? Like, just the same old that I'm doing? Because there's times where I'm just tired of it, especially if I don't get paid, which we're getting in minutes, something that is related to payment. But yeah, I just asked, like, what the heck is happening within this channel? What is happening, with my content in terms of like what I want to do? And you know what? I feel bad that there's no videos for this Sunday because here's the thing. I generally was thinking of right now at this moment record, but instead I'm recording a freaking VinzTalk. I was thinking of doing reads, but I'm like, yo, I kind of value my sleep. I don't really feel like staying up much late that I really wanted, and I haven't been doing that at all. Usually I stay up very late. Nowadays I try not to, and the times when I do is like these moments, which is recording, or if I have work to do, or if I'm like working late or something. But I always try to actually manage to go to bed. But I don't know, something just happens with my mind or something. Like, just, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the possessiveness that, the possession in me that is like doing that because I'm still possessed, hello. But yeah, it's just that I don't know what really is happening. I just, the moment that I really try to stay up, like up to like 3 usually is like when I get dizzy. That's a little too late. And right now I'm on bed because I'm trying to hold myself together, speaking to you guys. That's why I'm on the bed, not only to be cozy, but also to freaking hold myself together. I don't know what's happening with my health, but I feel like that's more important than doing a couple let's reads here and there. And especially there's not really a lot of let's reads. A lot of these creators are just taking breaks or whatever. What the heck is happening? Like, what is Ray doing? I know, he's traveling, but also, what is the rest of the other webtoon creators? They just put their stuff late or something. Another one that is keep delaying their stuff. Like, I don't get it. I don't know what's happening. But other than that, what is happening is the news. Let's talk about it. So I have opinions here and there, and this is going to be short. But also another thing, there's not really a lot of topics here. I got the Nintendo Direct that just happened earlier this week, and also talking about the whole review tech and JKB drama. And I guess that's it. I guess that's it. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have a lot, but hopefully this is enough to fill in. Okay, so I'm not gonna really drench in this too long, but I have an opinion piece here, which is basically about, like, I saw this post about, like, Israel being, um what was it? It was a post saying that, oh, Russia is suspended, and also Israel is being boycotted, or basically two countries being boycotted. And I start to develop this opinion about countries where, and it's a very strong opinion, but it's something that I really, really am thinking of working on in terms of my second channel, and when it comes down to just speaking up. And I just want to say this. Listen, I know for a fact that, what happened to the Palestinians is sad in Israel. What happened to the Ukrainians from the Russians is sad. But we shouldn't blame the normal people. You got to understand, these are just normal. And I'm talking about, like, what? Are you going to blame the kids in Russia? The kids in Israel because of the dumb politics? Like, it's not their fault. First off, do you blame? I saw this news set about, like, how many Russians are just suffering because a lot of their companies are being boycotted, and you could only imagine, like, what wages they're making over there. And the same thing with Ukraine because of the whole war thing. Like, and where they gotta go, especially if Russia's gonna keep, like that's the kind of like the horrors. I blame this all on Putin. I know I heard about the whole Putin interview. I'm not interested. I'm not interested hearing his voice, seeing his face, because he's a monster. He ruined Russia. He ruined Europe, Eastern Europe. But it also just ruined this, like what is happening? Like, there's so many countries that are just, they're being canceled here and there. They're being invaded. And it's like, but what about the people? Like, these are normal people in Israel, in Russia, that are Jewish, that are Russians. And I want to speak on this, that to say, like, imagine being from Russia, me being from Russia, and I have a friend from Ukraine, and I can't visit them because of politics and because of the war. They can't see me because of the, so on and so on. And that's kind of a messed up thing to really think about. Just being in a country where you're looked at as an enemy, all because you're Russian, all because you're Jewish, all because you're a part of this country that is just, gaining the most controversy and negativity because of the stupid decisions that the politicians make. And that's just wrong. Like, that's just wrong. I never understand the whole idea of boycotting countries, athletes, businesses. Some people just need to freaking work. And not everyone really cares of what's going on outside the world. Not everyone cares about, like, what's happening here and there. Listen, I guarantee you the 90% of Russians over there, or 95 or even 99% of people in Russia, has nothing to do with the invasion. They have nothing at all. If anything, most of them are against it. But if they speak on it, they go to jail. That's kind of messed up, It's kind of like, listen, I'm not in favor of USA invading so on and so on country, but if I speak on it, I'm going to get a bat to the head. And I value my life. I don't want, to get hurt, you know? So what do you do in that moment? You keep your mouth shut to be safe for the sake of yourself, your family, your kids. It's heartbreaking. And being boycotted all because, oh, it's your fault. Oh, because you're Russian. Oh, because you're Israeli, or because you blah, 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 blah. That is so messed up because these people have nothing to do with the war. Like, people are losing their humanity. I mean, more so because, AI, but that's another discussion. But with the sense of like the freaking war, like with just people just being from these countries, and, like, where are they going to go now? Like, where do you expect them to go if they literally can't afford to leave their country? Oh, if you don't like Russia, you can leave your country. You think that's easy? You think it's easy? It's even hard for me to even leave the US because I can't really think of anywhere to go other than here in the US. Maybe Canada, maybe the UK in terms of my language, but I don't really think so because my family is here. My friends, my family, like people that I know, but also people that I still want to see around while they're still alive. It's not easy. So I just want to put that out there in terms of a sense of humanity. Understand that I'm a human person before a freaking like blah 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 person because we're human. You got to understand that. You got to really know that before you say something, you got to really think about the innocent people surrounding it. If you say, "Oh, this country is this and that," it's no different from like your opinion of like, "Oh, this country deserves to be bombed or something." That is wrong. That is wrong. And I never ever wanted that for any country. Despite like and even though there's countries like I just don't like I'm not a fan of, specifically Russia, I don't really feel like they deserve anything worse because they're just innocent people. They don't know who I am. I don't know who they are, but I sure don't. War is never the answer. Violence is never the answer. Divide is never the answer. I'm just saying. I'm really putting that out there. Other than that, let's move on to the whole review tech fiery JKB because that is just another heartbreaking story. I like JKB, aka Josh, and for those that don't know, Review Tech USA is a channel that I kind of been sub to for a while at this point. And JKB, aka, the guy that is the editor for Review Tech's videos and been, filling in and stuff like that. Sadly, there's been a moment where they pretty much like, just out of nowhere, Review Tech fired JKB. And I don't know what's happening. And I know that, Josh, aka JKB, and this is the sources from this channel called 8BE, where basically filling in about this whole situation, this drama. And listen, I'm not friends with Review Tech. He doesn't know who I am. I think this is the first time mentioning Review Tech this year, so I don't really talk about him a lot. I watch him a lot, but I don't talk about him a lot. And I don't even watch him a lot that much because freaking Review Tech there's a lot of grotesque kind of like humor that he puts out, and it's just kind of annoying. That's why I don't watch his streams a lot. So I watch his rants. I love his rants. I love, but there's some stuff that Review Tech says where I'm like, yeah, that's not right. That's kind of a little unhinged here and there. But also he's a reasonable person where he's smart enough to know his mistakes and stuff like that. So he probably apologized for the stuff he said because I'm not going to really mention what he said, but, the stuff he said, I was like, yeah, okay, that's questionable. But firing JKB is another question. How did we get to this? Knowing that a person that has been filling in for you for like 6 years, especially true Review Tech's, aka Rich's, situation with his kids. And that's something that a lot, most channels and, Review Tech doesn't really mention. But for me, watching him a long time, and for me actually seeing what Rich is going through in terms of like that situation is heartbreaking. I can't imagine that for anyone's kids. I would never wish that on that's hard. That's sad. And his mental health is like spiraling down. And I don't blame him. I know my mental health is spiraling down. You can tell about my upload schedule. But for review tech, like I keep hearing like his mental health is like definitely going downwards hill. And for what he is going through, I don't blame anyone else talking about that. I don't blame anyone else seeing that because it seems like, yeah, if I was in Review Tech's shoes, I don't even know if I can live with myself at this point without worrying, without going through, and especially dealing with a big audience. Yeah, that is very damaging. And Review Tech at this point, if he's still holding on and doing streams and making videos and blah, 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 and especially how bad the inflation is in terms with YouTube AdSense, he is really holding on like a armored steel. And man, freaking Rich is like hardcore for doing that because that takes a lot of mental health to go through that. Okay, I don't know how I could handle it, and it makes sense of like why he's spiraling to this point of firing JKB. And it's sad. JKB talk about this. He spoke about this on his stream, and the situation is being handled as it should. But it really just was like, wow, this is kind of sad to see. But, there's many sources speaking on this. I'm just here to see this knowing that I follow Review Tech for the longest time. His memes and stuff like that. He kind of inspired like a new group, especially for many commentators within that space and for what he does. But, it's like, damn. I never thought that it would get here because I always see a Review Tech as underdog. Now he's big. Now he's sort of like, in that level, but with, and if anything, Review Tech, these channels like Boogie and pretty much, Lolcow, what the heck, Tipster and all that, it kind of made me appreciate, I guess, just being a old guy. Even though I'm not old, I'm still in my 20s, but it's like, it made me less afraid of like turning 30. If I got to be honest. I know that sounds, and they're pretty much 40s at this point, and I'm just way younger, but yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like a selfish reason to be, somewhat like a follower of these, fellow creators, despite my disagreements of them and here and there. I hope this goes through and is handled in a professional sense. Let's talk about some happy news, some happiness, because it's been a lot of sadness here. Let's get into some gaming and talk about the freaking Nintendo Direct, aka old Nintendo Switch. Listen, I don't know about you, but at this point, I'm trying my best to save some money so I don't even have a Switch. I could even sell it and I wouldn't worry about it, and I would be actually fine without a Switch. Now thinking about it. Yeah, I said it. Anyways, let's talk about these. I go hard on the Switch. I go hard on Nintendo because they don't even give a damn of who I am. So what they gotta do to me, huh? Take down this video because I said something mean? Listen, let's talk about the Nintendo Direct. And it just happened this recently. It's a short Direct. It's not surprising. Ain't no Switch 2 news. Ain't no, freaking Metroid Prime. Ain't no freaking Hi-Fi Rush. And you know what? Just a whack Direct, to be honest, in my opinion. Because it's just like, there's some cool games. There's a little bit of cool games. But at this point, Nintendo is really just giving us litter. I'm sorry. It's not giving us a lot. It be giving us powder. Like, pour some powder on our plates. Like we're in a jail cell. Oh, this is nice. Pour some water. Oh, tastes good. That's what it feels like. You're running us dry here in Nintendo. Anyways. New Rare games. Let's get that out of the way because I heard Mother 3 was announced within the Nintendo Direct. Definitely not this one. Only the Japanese version, but definitely not the freaking USA version. Their big market. And yeah, they're just first off, all these Rare games, they're cool. They're okay. Ain't no DK Racing here. Ain't no Banjo-Kazooie. Like how? How did we get... It's kind of like mind-boggling that you don't announce the freaking top tiers. And we're talking about bangers. Okay, bangers. Here. Yes, I know you can easily emulate them. Still, it would be dope to actually have an online sense with these games here. With DK Racing, old school DK Racing, online. Freaking Mario 64 and like that. Like, That went well. Like, some of these games kind of deserve a chance to be back. I'm just saying. Anyways, newer games. They got like games like Killer Instinct, which I never actually played. I keep hearing, but I never played. But they got like Corpse. Forget what this game is. It's like bouncing through buildings or whatever. I don't know. Every N64 games, at least in my opinion, always looks cool. There's like a lot of opportunity for 3D platformers and stuff like that. But yeah, just I don't know. There's Snake Rattle Roll. There's a couple of NES games here and there that looks cool, but at the same time, I don't really get the deal. Anyways, moving on. Let's talk about some other games coming up. Grounded is coming out. That's the first from the Xbox squad. Okay, Xbox is trying to abandon ship, and where they jump? Well, one of their games jump into the freaking Switch, and it's gonna be Grounded. I'm still waiting for Hi-Fi Rush. When's that coming? Some games that I did play is Penny's Big Breakaway. It was announced on the Nintendo Direct. I played it. It was out already. And man, I can't wait to stream this bad boy. It is so good from the creators of Sonic Mania. And it's a very Sonic game, but it's also not because it's Penny's it's a 3D platformer, and I'm gonna like that. Not only that, but from the creators of Sonic's, like or not. Well, actually, not from Sega or Sonic Team, but just like the people that work within that type of game. I was like, yo, this is amazing. you know. But moving on, Arranger is let me see what this game is. Okay, Arranger. Did I say that right? Arranger. I don't know. There's just like this paper game that looks really cool. But it's also Super Monkey Ball. I guess there's another name for it. I don't know. I call it. It's a new Monkey Ball game, and it looks nice. And I kind of dig it. I kind of like want to see it. Monkey Ball was never a game that I was like, oh man, this is like no. It's kind of like very mid low to me, to be honest. But I never actually hated Monkey Ball, and I kind of liked it. Next up is Battletale. That's another game that I'm gonna be playing soon. Hopefully, if I get through like, Penny's Big Breakaway, because I've been busy with that game. It's a lot of fun. Battletale is another game where I want to play, but if I'm in a mood for some farming or just cozy games in general, I might check it out. Pepper Grinder is another game that I'm thinking of playing as well. That's going to be on my list. Another is Crab Treasure, which is what they describe as a crab Dark Souls game. Okay, what do they say? Souls-like? Damn. Oh, they went there. So I'm definitely listen. I don't have a good time. I never had a good time with those types of games. Tunic, man, that game is freaking. It really kills your mood sometimes. You know that. I played Tunic. I was like, okay, wow, this is just this is not nice, and I stopped playing it. I'm sorry. I just don't like Souls-like. But for this one, another Scrap of Treasure. Listen, if I'm hungry for the challenge, yo, I'll be seeing another Scrap Treasure in the parking lot. Let's go. Okay, but and next one is Contra, new Contra game, aka Contra Galaga. I played the demo. Looks nice. I'm digging it. Unicorn Overload. I enjoyed this game so much. This was a fun demo. Listen, there's a reason I don't play these kind of like types of games, these MMO turn-based or whatever you call it or something like that, like triangle strategy, Seas of Stars, because I absolutely enjoyed Seas of Stars. I enjoyed so much of Echo Chambers. Man, that stream was fun. But for this one, it was like, there's no question. Unicorn Overload has to be the best game in this whole entire list. It is so worth it. And it's sad that it doesn't get the, appreciation that it deserves. Next up is Epic. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. This game is going to make me feel old. Epic Mickey is back. Epic Mickey Refurbish or remake or whatever you call it. It's a remake. I'm like, I saw that game. I saw it and I was like, oh, my gosh. Epic Mickey. Well, I haven't seen you since elementary. How you doing? It's been a century. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I was like, oh, okay. Epic Mickey is back. I can't wait to play that. And of course, the last but not least, Endless Ocean. There's a new Endless. Listen, when it comes down to Endless Ocean, immediately Game Grumps. Sorry, that's the only time I know about Endless Ocean is from those guys that played it, and especially from Game Grumps, a group that I kind of don't watch anymore. I just moved on from gameplays. I don't know. I like playing the games instead of watching people play it, but that's just me. That's just me. It looks nice. I really kind of like it. Not Abzu, quality, but still kind of cool though. I digs it. But yeah, Epic Mickey remake coming up, and I'm looking forward to that more. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that more. Other than that, that's all the games. There's more, but that's the only ones I care about. I'll see you guys next time. This is just a short Vince talk. Other than that, yeah, I hope you subscribe, like, comment, and jazz. I'll see you. God bless.